Good morning. It is currently 7 a.m. on Friday, January 16th, 2015, and this is 5 More Minutes. I'm Christiana Ellis. I'm still feeling a little sniffly, that thing today. I took a Tylenol, or no, not Tylenol, but Advil PM last night to sleep. Something I typically don't do just because, as I mentioned yesterday, usually it's the daytime cough medicine that gives me the problem because nighttime, if you're asleep, you're unconscious. So that's the only time I ever take cold medicine. But even then, sometimes, it leaves you a little extra groggy when you wake up. Anyway, though, we don't need to spend a second day talking about being sick with the sniffles. Last night, the Oscar nominations had come out, and so Mike and I did the first episode of our 2015 Oscar marathon, and this was the first year where we were trying our podcast recording via Google Hangout. And so on this very same YouTube channel, same one as these videos, there's a video for that introductory episode, and I thought it went really well. We discussed all of the nominations that have come out so far, and which movies that we've already talked about. The ones we spent the most time on were Grand Budapest Hotel, the Lego Movie, and The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies, because those were the movies that we had seen in common. There's also a briefer discussion of a number of different movies. So as we see more movies, we'll come back with updates to talk more about the new ones we've seen. What I think I want to talk a little bit more about today, though, is some cartoons. In particular, Adventure Time and Steven Universe. I feel like there's a lot of people who know about Adventure Time and how great and weird it is, but I feel like this season has been, this show is really, it's weird to call a show about a kid growing up matured, but I think that's a fitting thing. The show has established its own mythology so well that they're really able to start doing new things with it. They've set up the status quo for a number of things so solidly that now they can start exploring with ways to change that or poking into different angles of it. And they can do that without, breaking the show. And I think that's really great. And so this episode, in addition to it being kind of fun in its own right, exploring the origins of the Ice King's crown, how it came to be, why it does what it does, but also setting up sort of an ominous thing that's probably going to be an ongoing threat for Finn and Jake when they come back. This comet that apparently strikes every 1,000 years. The other show, though, that I feel like is probably doesn't get as much attention is Steven Universe. And I can kind of see why that would be, because the premise of Adventure Time is really straightforward. Even as crazy as that show can get, just the idea that you got Finn the human and Jake the dog, and they live in this weird world and they go on adventures. I mean, it's easy to explain to anybody, and then you just drop them in and they'll pick it up. Steven Universe is a much more high concept show. The idea that we have a boy who lives with a team of 3 female superheroes called the Crystal Gems because his mom was a crystal gem, but for reasons that are never fully explained, she had to give up her own form in order to have him exist. So, like, basically, in order to have a kid, she had to not exist anymore herself, which was, you could get into the weird metaphor of that, but the crystal gems are not precisely human, so their working is different. But this show is really kind of amazing. I mean, I'm already coming up on 5 minutes, but as it's moved into season 2, it also, like Adventure Time, has established the groundwork solidly enough that now it's able to start exploring new things about its own mythology. And it is consistently blowing my mind every episode right now. So that's a show that I feel like if you like Adventure Time but you never really gave Steven Universe a shot, it's slower moving, but I love it. It's special in a way that I can't really think of any other show that's like it. But I guess I'm already over 5 minutes, so that'll do for today. Remember, you can find all of my stuff at ChristianaEllis.com on this YouTube channel, or I am at Christiana Ellis on Twitter. So thank you very much for listening. I'll be back tomorrow with 5 more minutes.